Suspicious stew. There's something not quite right about this food source in Minecraft. I'm going to teach you absolutely everything there is to know about suspicious stew. So if you come across this in your playthrough, or if you're in the middle of a big PvP battle and you have the right ingredients, you can make the best stew for you. So here we are inside of my Minecraft realm that I've set up to talk all about suspicious stew. We happen to be in a flower forest biome that will become apparent because flowers are very important when it comes to suspicious stew. So what is the deal with this stew? If you happen to come across one in your Minecraft world, you'll see that it just says suspicious stew, and that is it. But when you try to eat that stew, something will happen. Some status effect will be applied to you. You don't get away with just eating it and having a great time. Although you might. I mean, what I mean by that is you'll always get a status effect. Some of them will be good. Some of them will be bad. So you don't know what you're going to get. And the game really does not give you an option to tell what type of stew this is. Even if you have like hover mode turned on in your F3 menu, it just says that there's an NBT tag and you don't know what it is. So you're really eating it at your own risk, unless if you know where it came from and you crafted it yourself, then you'll know what's in there. But still, the game wouldn't tell you what type of suspicious stew it is. So how would you naturally come across suspicious stew in your world? Possibly you have a farmer and he's all the way up to expert level, and he would trade you a suspicious stew for an emerald, which I have one emerald with me. So we'll go ahead and do that. That'll actually level him up to the next level, and now he's going to give me golden carrots and glistening melons. Very nice. This suspicious stew, I've already eaten it before, so I happen to know exactly what it will be, and it's nothing bad at all. It's actually saturation. You don't see that effect. This is probably one of the best of the suspicious stews to get. But if I run a little command, this command will show me my saturation level. And you can see that my saturation is at 20, which is the maximum saturation that you can have. So this guy happens to give me the best suspicious stew around. You also may come across suspicious stew inside of shipwrecks. So here we are inside of the ocean, and we happen to be in front of a shipwreck. This first one, this only has buried treasure maps and empty maps, but back here in the back, because I've already found it and opened it, this is a chest that happens to have 2 suspicious stew. I actually have no idea what 2 suspicious stew these are. We could actually take these out and eat them. But this is a completely natural chest. This is using the natural loot tables that generate from shipwrecks. And so I actually have zero idea what these guys are. Let's go ahead and give myself some hunger a few times so that I can actually eat this. I'm going to put the other, this is one that I know, that one's saturation. That's my empty bowl. So let's just go ahead and eat this one and see what it gives us. Ooh, night vision. Ooh, for like 10 seconds. I can see in the dark. Very nice. Okay, so that's interesting. The next one. Oh, I need to give myself some hunger. Okay, let's try this one out. Night vision again. Woo. Okay, so obviously it is random. The other way to get suspicious stew naturally, other than crafting it, and we're going to get into crafting, how you can craft that, is if you happen to have a brown mushroom. Now, these guys are not easy to get. You have to find first a red mushroom in the Mushroom Island biome, which is very, very rare. Then you'd have to wait or get this red mushroom struck by lightning. So either you'd wait around, or maybe the easier way is to use the channeling effect on the trident to throw it, and then if it's raining, then a lightning bolt will come down wherever that trident lands. So that's the easiest way to do it, but still very, very difficult to do. If you feed a brown mushroom a flower, so we're gonna feed him this azure flower, you can see that he eats it and he has little particles. Then if you take your bowl and milk him, stew him, then you will get a suspicious stew as a result. Now, we're going to go into what each of these flowers do. So right now, we don't know. This is a mystery flower. I'm going to go ahead and give myself some hunger so that I can actually eat this. By the way, the suspicious stew will restore, I believe it's 6 points, which is 3 haunches. So I'm going to go down here to pass that so that, oh, there we go. Ah, blindness. Blindness. That's an effect that I don't want. Okay. blindness effect. Hooray. So if you wanted to not trade, not find it in a shipwreck, and not have to go through all the process of getting a brown mushroom, then you can obviously just craft it yourself. And the crafting recipe is fairly simple. It's just like a mushroom stew where you have 2 mushrooms and the bowl, but this time add a flower. And it can really be any flower except for the double tall flowers. We'll get to that in a moment. So any of the single tall flowers, that will craft up a suspicious stew as a result. And depending on what flower it is, that is what status effect you will get as the output. Just if you didn't know how you make a bowl, all you do is take planks, 3 planks, and put them in this crafting recipe, and then you get 4 bowls as a result. So if you're wondering how to get a bowl, that's how you do that. Now, I have a tip for you guys. The hardest part of this recipe really is the mushrooms. Either you're going to have to find mushrooms naturally, they spawn naturally throughout the world, or you can find 1 or 2, 1 red and 1 brown mushroom, and then make them yourself. And I have a whole video about how to make giant mushrooms, because that's by far the easiest way to do it. I find that the easiest way to make giant mushrooms is to actually put down some spruce saplings, like so, hit it with bone meal a few times, and then when that sapling grows, and some of these may be messing with, stop, get out of here, you crazy flowers. There we go. Whenever it grows, then Podzoil will show up as a result. And we're just gonna get rid of that log there with a command block. This Podzoil is super useful because you are able to plant mushrooms on it at any light level. So before we had to make sure that this was a dark area, and now you could bone meal that and get a giant mushroom as a result. And then whenever you break it, you get a few of those mushrooms to fall. Sort of like how, leaves sometimes drop sticks. Well, these mushrooms sometimes drop their version of that mushroom. That was not a sapling. That was a sapling from before that didn't create a sapling. And this will also work with the red mushrooms as well. So that is how you get the best supply of mushrooms for your stews. So now you know how to make the bowls. Now you know how to make the mushrooms. Now let's talk about what each of these flowers actually does. So these are all of the single tall flowers. All of these, except for 2 of them, can be found in a flower forest biome. So we happen to be in the flower forest biome. All of these flowers are found here, except for this is the blue orchid. This will only spawn naturally in swamp biomes. So you have to go to a swamp biome. You can bone meal the ground and it will spawn there to get a lot of this flower. And then finally is the wither rose. And a wither has to kill a living animal mob creature. So what I normally do in order to basically farm these is right before I'm ready to fight the wither, take as many eggs as I can find, just normal chicken eggs, and spam them in the area that I'm going to create the wither, and then create the wither, and that wither will kill a lot of those chickens, and then they will drop wither roses. Wither roses will not be blown up by the wither blast, so that explosion that the wither does, this rose will not be destroyed by it. So you can kind of, as long as you kill the wither within 5 minutes, you can easily pick up tons of roses that way. These happen to be in alphabetical order. That's why they're in this order. So first, this is the allium flower, and it creates a suspicious stew with fire resistance. The durations are different between Bedrock and Java Edition. On Bedrock, this will be a fire resistance for 2 seconds, and on Java Edition, this is fire resistance for 4 seconds. I just got all the suspicious stews, so this fire resistance one, we'll go ahead and eat it. And you can see the effect applied to me just right there. So if you, for some reason, need 4 seconds of fire resistance, that's how you get it. Next is the Azure Bluet. This flower will give you blindness. This is the same flower that we fed to our brown mushroom back here. And you saw the blindness effect. And I can just go ahead and give that to myself. Why am I doing this? Why am I asking for this pain? Okay, time to eat it. Bam, blindness. The blindness was for 8 seconds, and on the Bedrock Edition, that blindness will last for 6 seconds. Next is the Blue Orchid, and the Blue Orchid will give you saturation. But spoiler alert, the Dandelion, which is right here, right next to it will also give you saturation. So both of these give you the saturation effect. And this one is quite dramatic in how well it works. So I'm sitting here, I have some, food loss or whatever. If I eat this, not only is my food all the way full, but I have completely full saturation. So this will fill you up for a very, very, very long time. This type of food is probably the best in Minecraft. The only downside is that suspicious stews do not stack. So you would have to take up a lot of inventory space in order to have this type of stew around. So this is almost like a food source that you could have at your base, where you could have a full double chest of this type of suspicious stew. That way you don't have to carry it around with you everywhere. Next is the corn flour, and this will give you jump boost. This will give you 6 seconds of jump boost in the Java edition and 4 seconds of jump boost in the Bedrock edition. It's only jump boost level 1, so it's not like this crazy amount, but it would allow you to get over fences if you needed. Next is Lily of the Valley, and Lily of the Valley will give you poison. So avoid that one when making it. I'm just doing this just to show you guys, yes, you do get poisoned, and it lasts for a while. This is 12 seconds on the Java edition, and that'll last for 10 seconds on the Bedrock edition of the game. Moving on to the Oxeye Daisy, this one will actually give you the regeneration effect. So right after you had your poison with Lily of the Valley, you can take your Oxeye Daisy and eat that, and that will give you regeneration. And this is an awful lot of regeneration, in my opinion. Okay, so I've set the natural regeneration in this world off. So this is like if it was in UHC, my hunger will not generate my hearts, and I have another regeneration. So I'm at 2 hearts right now. So let's just see how many hearts it will actually give me. And remember, this is for 8 seconds. Now, this is regeneration 1. If you were to eat a golden apple, that is regeneration 2. So it looks like it gives you 1.5 hearts of healing, which is still, that is an awful lot of healing for just a stew with an Oxeye Daisy, compared to how difficult it is to make a golden apple. You need, all that gold. You have to go mining for it. You could just find these Oxeye Daisies and mushrooms on the surface. And planks for bowls. That is a very, very powerful tool if you're in a PvP situation. Moving on to the Poppy. The Poppy will give you night vision. So those night vision bowls that we ate earlier from the shipwreck, those were made from poppies. So if you eat this, bam, you can see in the night. It's not actually nighttime, so you just see the particles of the night vision, but you guys have seen what night vision looks like before. Next is any type of tulip. Tulip comes in a few different colors. So you can see there's some orange tulip, red tulip, white tulip. I believe that there's even a pink tulip. So whatever version of tulip you put in there, you are going to get weakness as a result. Let's go ahead and eat this one, and you'll see, wham bam, weakness, my friend. And with weakness, you can't really hurt anything. You're like, die. And weakness, you're just too weak. Me. And then finally, the Wither Rose. It's pretty obvious. It's going to give you the wither effect. So we'll just do this for science here. Oh, I need a little bit of hunger, and I'm going to regret this in the immediate moment. So it gives you wither effect. That'll be 8 seconds on Java edition and 6 seconds on the Bedrock edition for that wither effect. So I mentioned that the double tall flowers, they don't do anything, and that's just it. They don't do a single thing. So if you put any of the double tall flowers in, you just will not get a result as a recipe. So sorry, double tall flowers, you guys don't do a single thing in suspicious stews. So let's summarize. These are what I feel like are the absolute best of the suspicious stew. The ones that you need to memorize. All the others, yeah, I guess it's kind of okay that, like, I don't know, the poppy gives you weakness, or not poppy, the tulip gives you weakness. Like, why do you need to care? Why do you need to care? Just remember these 3 flowers. First is the dandelion, one of the easiest flowers to get. It is the yellow flower. You see it all over the place. These will spawn in plains biomes, so not a rare flower at all. That will give you saturation, which is one of the best food sources in the game. Next, the flower you need to remember is the oxeye daisy. This is the crazy big white flower. They really stand out and they're really easy to spot. Oxeye daisies will give you that regeneration effect, and that is another one. Basically, if you just had to remember 2, remember that. Dandelion gives you saturation, oxeye gives you regeneration, and you're good to go. Last and not least, well, I guess least, yeah, it is the least, is the poppy, and that gives you night vision. The reason I want you to remember this is that poppies are also super duper prevalent inside of normal natural generation of Minecraft. You'll find poppies in the plains biomes and all over the place. So if you happen to see a poppy and you want to eat it, you can. All it'll do is give you night vision as a result. And night vision may be a nice thing, although it doesn't last really long enough to matter. There you go, everything there is to know about Suspicious Stew. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a big ol' thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMG Craft. See you next time. Bye.